Okay guys, so we are talking about the multitasking. So multitasking basically we can achieve with the help of multiprocessing as well as multi-threading. Okay, so here in the first case we are talking about the multiprocessing. Okay, so basically if you see we have one client, okay, which has been started multiple process. So in the one process he is listening the music on the at the same time. On other process, he's editing into the document. In the same client, he's downloading the file through the browser. So we have a three different applications. You can say one is the listening music either by VLC media player, and we have another one applications which is kind of, you can say, document, where we are editing the document. Client is editing the document, and at the same time simultaneously the same client is downloading the file with the help of browser. So if you look at, we have a separate task, and these all tasks sharing the separate address. You can say address 1, address 2, address 3. So all tasks having the separate address, and you can say, and since these all tasks performing the simultaneously, so the context switching is happening between one process to another process, you can say. Okay, this is the context switching between the process, you can say, or between the task, you can say. So, and this process has its own memory address, this process has its own memory address, this process will have its own memory address. So it is, you can say, pagination we have done, page 1, page 2, page 3. This all task has been split it into the page 1, page 2, page 3. Okay, so you can say independently, all tasks are performing, all tasks have its own individual memory address, individual, you can say, uh, applications. Like this, let's say listening music belong to the different application, editing document belong to the different application. It might be the MS Word, or like for, if we are editing into the PPT, it might be PowerPoint, and downloading the file. Okay, so you can say this might be this, when you perform the multitasking with the help of multi processing. Okay, so this would be the heavyweight, because here why I'm telling this is the heavyweight concept, because that we will have this different memory address, different you know area where this task is performing, and the address, and you can say the context switching is happening from one process to another process. Now if you look at this, is we have here operating system, and this operating system performing the multiple tasks P1, P2, P3, you can say P1, P2, P3, just for understanding purpose. Okay, so this is the multitasking. So concurrently task is performing. Okay, but this is the heavyweight concept. Now if you go for another concept, we have a multi-threading. So yeah, before moving to the multi-threading, of course, we here I talk about the only one CPU, but the same thing you can do with the help of multiple processor, so in the CPU 1, CPU 2, CPU 3, and so like if you go, like in other system, there we might be using the multiple CPU to perform the multi-processing. Okay, so just for understanding purpose, in a one computer, because in the computer we also can perform the multi-processing, where we switch to from one process to another process. But if you talk about like you can say